What's up, guys? Amy here, and welcome back to my channel. I have been meaning to go live earlier, but I was having some technical difficulties with the focusing of my new camera. This is new equipment as far as my camera and my microphone. So I am not the most tech savvy person in the world, but I have been learning like how to set the settings properly on my new camera and my new microphone. And so that has been a learning curve. And I want to thank Tarot Oracle so much for assisting me through this process. And also, just so you guys know, I don't necessarily have to go live with these videos. But if I go live, then I won't have to edit the video later, which is the reason why I like to go live instead of pre-recording, editing. Then I gotta like do cuts when I say too much, and it's a lot. And I ain't got time for that. So, I'm just gonna go live as much as I can. All right, so today I'm going to be showing you guys the Little Buddha Oracle. I've been posting some images here and there on Instagram, and I just wanted to kind of jump in and show you guys the whole deck so you can get a feel of it. I've been thinking about releasing it with the Wonder World Tarot. More than likely, that'll be next month. But in the meantime, I'm just going to show you guys the deck so you can get a feel of it, see if you like it, and all that good stuff. All right, so another thing I like to do is show kind of a comparison between the prototype and the final copy or the official copy. So this is the official copy here in the two-piece box, and then this is the prototype in the tuck box, which originally the deck was going to come in a tuck box, but I really don't like tuck boxes. So I kind of just, at the end, I was just like, I'm just going to upgrade it to two-piece box. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so fresh out the box, I'm just going to show you guys what the deck looks like fresh out the box. You have the cover, Push Kitty logo on the side there. You got symbol, peace, love, namaste, and lotus flower. A little decor that I added to the outside of the box. Also, just to let you guys know, you all know I have a 1-year-old son. His room is right on top of my office. So you might hear him like running around. Just like him right now making his baby noises. Dad's home, so he's all right. And I have instructed everyone in the house to be quiet and not make a lot of noise because I'm on live. So we'll see if they are able to comply with my request to keep the noise down, which they may very well not. And then I have a very sensitive microphone. So please bear with me. I got some live people running around here on this fine Saturday evening. All right, so here we have the inside of the box with the pink cloud decor. It kind of matches the box of the standard Little Buddha Tarot, which do I have it nearby? I do. I'll show you guys that later on towards the end. But yeah, that's it. And then the back of the box, I wrote like some sentiments there. I have like the scattered star print. Oh, the mat. This mat kind of matches the standard Little Buddha box too, so you can get an idea of the inspiration behind that. But then I have this is the illustration from Protect and Preserve Your Peace. And I just love the characters inside this little bubble. So I was like, oh, I gotta have that inside the box. And then here is the back design. I'll pull it out the sleeve. Here's the back design with the little puzzle pieces in the shape of a cloud that are coming together. I love the clouds. I love this back design. Just so you can get a feel of the old design, because I told you guys a bunch of times, but I usually put my decks through an elevation process before I publish the final copy. But this is the original back design. and then I kind of zoomed it out a little bit and added the pink accent to the back because I knew I wanted to have pink edging around the cards. And so I went ahead and did that. Also, the prototype has like a semi-gloss kind of finish, and I just like matte better because I think it photographs better. And a lot of us are online and we use lighting and we need the cards to be friendly with our streaming and our recording and filming and all that good stuff. So the little Buddha oracle does come edged in this like beautiful pink color. It's like a light, soft. I call it powder pink. I'm not sure if that's the proper name for it, but it feels like a powder pink to me, like that baby girl um, pink. It's very soft, very gentle shade of pink. I love the shade of pink. And then, of course, we have like the title card, which I have like my information on there, website, Instagram, Facebook. I always recommend following on Instagram because that's where I post the most, just because it's easier for me to post on Instagram. I can just like drop a picture, write a couple of words on there, and then bam, I'm out of there. And that's because I do have a full time day job. So I'm usually getting home like after 6 o'clock. I'll get off 5 o'clock. I stop at the grocery store. I get stuck in traffic, and then I'm getting home 6:30, between 6 and 7 p.m. typically on a weekday, unless I work from home that day. If I work from home that day, I'll have a lot more free time. But um, I'm going to be working from home a lot less often now with the role that I'm in with my new job. And I think about doing tarot full time, which I'm sure would make me a happier person. But I work for children's services, and so I feel like I am working, giving back to my community, I guess, and serving the children in my community. So that feels kind of fulfilling to me, just knowing that I'm working to protect and make sure children are safe. So it's kind of hard for me, like ethically, to walk away from that job, but that's another story. All right, and then here we have the cards. This is the order that the cards are going to come in, and then I did regroup them separately on the side because afterwards I added some extra cards at the end, which is the Buddha quotes cards. There's like 10 of them and whatnot, but I'll show you guys that at the end as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what inspired me to make the Little Buddha Oracle, and that is the Little Buddha Tarot. When I made the Little Buddha Tarot, I was getting some feedback about there not being any oracle decks to kind of match the vibe of the Little Buddha Tarot. This is my personal copy, so it's out of order, but I'll let that card stay in the front. But yeah, and I understood where people were coming from with that, as far as there not being very many oracle decks. I mean, I don't think I've seen an oracle deck that follows, has a main character of like a little boy of color. So yeah, it's not common, especially with this kind of energy. I think that's what makes the Little Buddha Tarot unique. Just the positive energy and all that good stuff. And so yeah, I wanted to make an oracle deck to match, to pair well with the Little Buddha Tarot. And then, you know, since there weren't any out there, and then obviously the only way I could have done that is to kind of do it myself. This is my copy of the standard edition, which is in order and I use for more um, learning purposes. So I'll just put it there on the other side. All right. And so there was that. I did get like so many emails, so many comments, like, there's no oracle decks. You should make an oracle deck. And then I just went for it. And then I want to point something out that I found very interesting. So, along with an oracle deck, a lot of people were asking me to do a companion book, like a full size guidebook to go with the Little Buddha Tarot. And I'm still going to do that because I noticed that there are a lot of artistic choices that I made for the Little Buddha Tarot that someone might not necessarily pick up on if they don't have the book. Like, for example, I see in some videos, people make note that in the full card, Little Buddha isn't holding a knapsack or anything. And then that's because with Buddhism, they're minimalists, right? So Little Buddha wouldn't necessarily need that knapsack to start his journey. He doesn't need anything physical. And so that was the choice for that. But I'll talk more about the Little Buddha Tarot in a separate video. This video is more so about the Oracle. All right. And yeah, so here we have ask for help and you will find assistance was near the entire time. This is the very first card. Oh, actually, this isn't the first card. I put these in alphabetical order because I wasn't sure how to group them inside of the box. And like, I am a stickler for detail. I'm one of those people who any little detail, um, like I got OCD in that way. Like I want every little detail to be in order. I want everything to be exactly how I want it to be. And so when I was thinking about the order of how people would flip through the cards when they first opened the box, because that's the first impression, right? Um, I couldn't decide whether I wanted to start with the happy cards or the cards that are a little bit more neutral. And so I just went ahead and said, you know what, I'll put them in alphabetical order. But that said, at the end, I did add an additional 10 cards and I couldn't reorder them because I had already submitted the deck. And then I told the printer, like, hey, wait, please let me add 10 more cards. And then they said yes. And then I added the 10 cards and they added it to the deck after I had already submitted it for production. And so those 10 cards at the end are not in alphabetical order with these cards or with the full deck. Ooh, I just bumped the camera. All right, so ask for help and you will find the assistance was near the entire time. This card is just about asking for help, not being afraid to ask for help, and advocating for yourself more so because you never know what kind of resources are around you unless you ask. And so that's the whole premise for this card. Let me water here. All right, and then we have Believe in Miracles. This one's kind of self-explanatory. I really enjoy the rainbow and like the little feathers and sparkles that are happening here. Courage is contagious. I love this one. Mostly because I find that I really agree with the idea that courage is contagious because you may not necessarily I think courage is something that is kind of learned. Like you might not start off being the most courageous person, but then you may gain more strength and courage as you move on through life, or you may have an experience where you see someone else being courageous, and then that kind of rubs off on you. And so I think surrounding yourself with people who have a lot of courage, that could definitely influence you in some ways. All right, then we have Decompress. This one is also kind of self-explanatory. I really love hot tubs, and so I was like, I'm gonna have them in the hot tub. But I enjoy like hot tubs in general. It's like so relaxing to me. Also, water. I am a water baby all day. I'm a Cancer, a Cancer sun, um, Pisces moon, Leo rising. Yeah, that's it. So I have a good amount of water in my chart. Do the inner work. So throughout this deck, you'll see meditation poses with different mudras, which is like the way the hands are positioned. So that's something to kind of pay attention to. And if you wanted to look more into the mudras, you can like look it up and make some connections between the mudra in the card with the message and then the meaning of the mudra. All right, and then do your research. I think research is very important. You can't believe what you hear all the time. Always you can't paint your perception of the world based on someone else's knowledge, right? Like you got to do your own research, and that's why I added that card in. Don't force it, just ride the wave. This one's kind of like, it's almost like going with the flow, but it takes it a little bit further because if you fight against the wave, right, the wave's gonna knock you down. So you gotta kind of ride the wave, um, to kind of have some smooth sailing. Also like the little dolphins in there. Don't be afraid to evolve. I like this one a lot. And then of course you have like the frog here also with the mudra hands position. And then we have some tadpoles here by the frog to kind of show that evolution. Dream bigger, dream wider, fulfill your heart's desires. So I secretly want my son to be a doctor. So I'm kind of living vicariously through him with this card. I support anything he wants to be, but I would be very, very happy if he becomes a doctor. Enjoy your happy snack. All right, your happy snack could be anything. It doesn't have to necessarily be food, but I do love strawberry ice cream. And I thought the little panda ice cream truck was like so cute. Um, Forgiveness equals freedom. That one's pretty self-explanatory as well. You know, what can I say? You have to kind of forgive others and forgive yourself to be free of some of the emotions that don't necessarily serve you or serve us. Pace yourself, taking it easy. Little Buddha is kind of zipping down this hill with his feet up, which is not very safe. And so we got pace yourself. That could be applied to many things. And I want to make a point that some of these cards may have a negative connotation, but it's done in a light-hearted way. You know, like little Buddha could get hurt, right? And then his friend here is like pedaling down the hill. He's got a little bit more control of how fast he's going. So there's more that could be read into these cards, even though they are depicted in a light-hearted way. Friends are the family we choose. They're like toasting over a glass of milk. It's so cute. Give yourself permission to be happy. Um, my cousin Walt, he like posts on Instagram every morning. I give myself permission to be happy today. And every time I read that, I just think to myself, like, I give myself permission to be happy too. It's true. It's like mindfulness and being intentional with being positive and being in control of your own emotions, emotional intelligence, all that good stuff. It's intentional. And so I like how little Buddha is drawing the smiley faces on his calendar in the morning before he leaves, just being very mindful and being in control of his own happiness, which I think is very important. Then we have gratitude as a healthy form of reflection. I think gratitude is important. I express a lot of gratitude every day to my family, um, my coworkers, just anyone who will listen, pretty much. Um, I think it's super important. And things I am grateful for: my friends, opportunities, myself, my family, and the list goes on and on. Happiness lasts longer when you create it yourself. Um, hey, that this is very true. When you rely on someone else to create your happiness, then they are in control of your happiness, right? But when you create your own happiness, when you are the source of your happiness, then no one else can control your happiness. And that's very important. Love that card. All right. Harvest time. This one's pretty self-explanatory too. It's like when you put in work and then it's time for you to reap the benefits of your work, your labor, the seeds that you have planted, etc. Healing is a process, one step at a time. Healing takes effort with choices aligned. Like I mentioned before, you know, healing, happiness, all of these positive things, I think it takes effort and you have to make a choice to do so. You have to be mindful. It's a process, a step by step process. It's not a destination and it can take a while. And so we have little Buddha here. He's sweating in the sun with sunflowers around. And I just really love the message behind this card. If it can get you in the dark, it can get you in the light. And then this is a quote from my grandma, something my grandma used to say to me, and something that really sticks with me even now as an adult. Um, I remember I told her that I was afraid of the dark one time. She asked me why I had the light on. I told her I was afraid of the dark. And she told me, if it can get you in the dark, it can get you in the light. And that really stuck with me. This quote sticks with me now. Every time that I'm in the dark and I'm afraid of the dark, because I consider myself to be very spiritually sensitive. What's it called? Like empathic. Like I just feel uneasy sometimes, and I feel like it's because of the energy that's around me, or like spiritual energy around me, ancestral energy. Sometimes that I'm not able to see, but I can feel, and I'm trying to identify it and classify it, and sometimes it scares me. And now I feel more comfortable after kind of processing this message from my grandma Pat. Um, it's okay to unplug. We got little Buddha unplugging from the world. You know, this one's kind of self-explanatory too. Sometimes we need breaks. I'm one of those people who needs breaks sometimes for sure. Just Keep Swimming by Dory. I love this one. And I almost added Dory to this image, but I didn't want to take away from little Buddha's message and his little friends. And so I just kind of kept it more neutral with that. Keep going. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. So this one kind of reminds us like when we're on journeys and paths and we have goals, mainly goals, I'll say. Um, you got to kind of stick it through, keep going. Remember the reason why you started your journey. And as long as it's something that serves you, is something that's healthy for you, makes you a better person, helps you get to the point of transcendence, then keep going. There that light is there, and it's meant to shine on you. Kick back and relax. You guys know I have something about little Buddha on flamingo floats. If you've seen the Nine of Cups in the little Buddha tarot, then you'll get this card. Life's like a box of chocolates. Forrest's mom. So this is a quote from Forrest Gump, and it kind of speaks to the randomness of life and just kind of not knowing what you're gonna get. You're gonna get what you're gonna get. It's gonna be a surprise, and you gotta kind of just roll with it. And yeah, listen and be present. Listening is a skill. Let me tell you. A lot of times, some people listen to rebuttal, or they listen to respond, or they're listening. They're not really listening. They hear you, but they're not listening. I think listening is very important, and it is essential to be a great listener. Look up at the stars, and you will see that hope is near, the hope you need. So this card is all about hope. I love the little star that's in the sky. You know, it's important to stay hopeful, um, especially when you feel like hope is lost, because I've read some things about rebellion and control, and the first thing that oppressors do is take your hope away. They want you to feel like there's no hope so that you submit and give in to whatever it is that they want you to submit to. So hope is very important because as long as there is hope, then there's room to fight. There's something to fight for. And so this one is another really important one. Mistakes become roadmaps. Make adjustments to find a new direction. This card is another one that's kind of so. I believe that mistakes are important. Let me adjust the microphone a little bit. I hope you guys can hear me well, but I believe that mistakes are very important in life because they kind of help you navigate moving forward. If you don't make the mistake, then you can't learn from it, right? You have some people in the world who are very smart, like my sister. I always noticed that my sister was very smart and she learned from my mistakes. Whereas I'm the type of person that I don't really learn from other people's mistakes. I need to learn myself and kind of experience things myself in order to learn, which I think is like that for a lot of people. But yeah, you map out your mistakes and then you exit out, you cross it out, and you find a new path to get to that X where you want to go, the direction that you want to be on, where you want to go. Um, New highs. I love this one because it kind of speaks to the vantage point where you kind of learn something new. You're at the peak of the mountain looking at another mountain that you need to climb, right? So when you overcome a goal, there's still more goals to overcome. There's still more things to do, but you're at a point now where you're on a high, and you kind of gotta be low to appreciate the highs. So balance is always great, but the moments of high are always beautiful and something to reference and something to work toward. It gives us something to productivity. This is something that's very important to me because I am a working woman. I spend most of my time working, happily so. I like to work, just because like I talked about before, I did have some moments of depression in my life where I didn't want to do anything and I was very unproductive. And thankfully, I want to thank God and thank myself mostly because it's me who put in the work to heal. It was my choice. I have free will, and it was my choice to heal. And so I'm so happy now because my will and my want to be productive is a reminder of what I've overcome, and I'm just so thankful and happy for that. So productivity is a sign of life. It's a sign of um, working towards something and foresight, working towards a future. And this is very important to me. Protect and preserve your peace. This is, come on, come on now. We gotta protect our space. And we have little Buddha and little Panda here in bubbles. And they're in separate bubbles, right? They're in separate bubbles. That's the most important thing because we're all individuals at the end of the day. And codependency can be dangerous. So I thought it was important for them to be in separate bubbles. When things get tough, push through. You will thank yourself later. This card almost got scrapped, um, but I decided to throw it in. Put this is when something seems impossible, right? Like, how am I gonna finish this? And I'll give you guys an example. I am in the middle of a master's program for teaching, and there was a teaching test that was very difficult for me, like one of the state tests that you have to take in order to be a teacher, in order to qualify to be a teacher. And it was so difficult for me. You guys, math is not my best subject. I know PEMDAS, 2 plus 2, addition, subtraction, all that good stuff. But when you start hitting me with algebras and this to the that power, exponents, all that extra A, B, C, D, I don't like any of that. Geometry and degrees and stuff that you don't really need to know in day to day life. Like, I don't use any of that stuff today. But anyway, it was very difficult for me, and then eventually I did pass that exam. And so, but before I passed it, this was exactly how I felt. Like, how the hell am I gonna get this thing across the finish line? Um, and I did some tutoring, and it was a lot of effort. I'll say it was a lot more effort than I'm used to putting into something, and that I wanted, especially because it was something I didn't care for, but I needed to do it to get to my goal, and so had to push through on that. Release control, let it be. We got Little Buddha releasing a little paper boat, origami boat into the water, and who knows where that thing's gonna end up, right? Release your inner goofball. Anybody that knows me just knows, like, I have a great sense of humor, and I love people with a great sense of humor. If you have no sense of humor, I do not. It's hard for me to spend a lot of time, personal time, with people who don't have a great sense of humor, because I think it just sucks the air out of the room when people just have no humor. But I really appreciate humor. I think it it adds joy to the world and kind of lightens things up a bit. Remove the label. I posted this on my Instagram. I love this card. I think it's important for people to know, um, understand, and apply the fact that no one can label you. No one can label us something. We define who we are. No one else can tell us we're not enough. And I like how Little Buddha is just like taking that label right off the panda, um, getting down to panda size. They're both equal. And I just love the way this card is depicted. Okay, then we have remove the mask. I love this card too because, again, I've had some moments where I have this happy face mask on. I'm able to smile with tears in my eyes, when I'm sad, when I'm worried, when I'm not happy. And I think that's a skill that a lot of us have developed as a defense mechanism. Um, and so it's not very helpful sometimes because other people won't know we need help, and they won't be able to help us if we have this mask on. And Little Buddha is coming to embrace little panda who is showing some anxiety, worry, and sadness here. So, love that one. Self-soothing is the key to emotional intelligence. Again, I, so much experience with the process of healing, and like I'm talking about dramatic change, from where I was and where I am now. I had to learn how to self-soothe, and it's important. It's an important skill, and it's definitely the key to emotional intelligence. It's something that we all try to teach our babies to do, right? I'm like struggling with that now, trying to teach my son how to self-soothe when he wants me to hold him and I'm not able to hold him because I gotta work, or he wants dad to hold him and dad's not able to hold him, So it's a very important skill, that unfortunately some of us don't learn when we probably should, but better late than never, right? um, I love that Little Buddha is also looking into the mirror while hugging himself. It's just all about self love and self worth. Shine your light. I love this one. Has a third eye, and of course, it's purple to represent that chakra. I like how his hands are folded. He's got like the ray of sunlight shining from his body. And this is just kind of like when it's dark, right? When it's dark, you want to shine your light in the darkness so that you can shine your light on other people and other people can shine a light, and it can make the room light, full of light instead of darkness. And balance is important. So if Little Buddha wasn't there in this moment, then it would just be a dark room, right? So that's what we got there for Shine Your Light. Soak up the sun. So this is all about, okay, I just want to say this because I don't think I've said this yet. The titles of these cards are not necessarily literal. Like some of them you can think of them literally, but a lot of times there is more to the message than what meets the eye. So soak up the sun. Yeah, you got little Buddha and little Panda there on the beach. They're tanning or, they're chilling out in the sun. But it's about soaking in the good moments, the happiness, being present in life, just living, but just soaking it up. Put your phone down. When you go to the beach, don't take your phone. If you don't take your phone, take a couple of pictures, but live in the moment. um, I think a lot of us are like living in our phones now. Like every time I go somewhere, even when I go to a concert, there's like a million people holding up their phones. And I'm like, how can you enjoy the show if all you're worried about is recording to post up on social media? And like, yeah, it's just soaking up the sun, soaking up the good times, the happy, and all that good stuff. Spread love. Of course, you want to spread love. Of course, you want to spread love. You want to have other people feel love, and then that they'll show you love back, or they might not, but at least you're showing them love. And there's never too much love. As long as it's healthy and it's not possessive, I think love is very healthy, and spreading that love and that health is just awesome. Stay in tune with the moon. This one, I believe that the moon controls. Well, we know that scientifically the moon controls the tides, and then I think our bodies are mostly made of water, and so the moon must control us in some way as well. And stay in tune with the moon is just all about being aware of yourself, especially when you think about the tarot meaning for the moon card. It kind of supports this idea as well, the things that kind of go bump in the night, but you want to stay in tune with yourself and with the moon. Surrender to your higher self. It's not always easy to do that. It's easier said than done, but ultimately that's what we want to do, right? We want to become the best version of ourselves, by surrendering to our higher selves. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals. Um, so this is just kind of, instead of trying to blend into groups where you don't necessarily fit in, or they don't share the same ideals with you, you don't share the same ideals, you can surround yourself with people who are like you. And then here we have Dory and Nemo, little fish. Um, I just had to throw them in there. So cute. But yeah, I think it's just about surround yourself with like-minded people, who enjoy the things that you enjoy, and then you can enjoy those things together. Oh, and also on similar journeys to you, like I like to talk to people who are about healing and tarot and things and such. That's mostly what I spend my time on, because that's what I enjoy and that's what they enjoy, and so we just enjoy it together. The Great Connection. We have like the silhouette of a tree here in the background, and then little Buddha, he has a little plant that he needs to implant into the ground, or what's it called? What's that called? Plant, yeah, plant, and it's already starting to grow. And this speaks to our connection to the world, Mother Nature, the earth, the spirit, all of that, because this is like a spirit tree. Um, you start off as a little seed, and then you grow into this little. Your roots are starting to spread, and then you want to stay planted and stay connected with the world and with the spirit and with your ancestors and all that good stuff. And they say we're all connected, so love that one. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. And then here you see little Buddha in a mudra pose again. Um, you see like these two cards. It's two different stances. There's like different facial expressions and whatnot. But yeah, it's different. different mudras throughout this deck. There are better times ahead. This one kind of has Six of Swords kind of energy to me. But definitely we're moving from tumultuous waters into more calm waters. But the tumultuous waters is like right behind them. They're like right behind them. They're about to get them. So they kind of got to move a little faster. And Panda is here looking toward the destination. He's like smiling. And Little Buddha is like rowing really hard to try to get away from those that tumultuous waters. Don't be afraid to show your scars. The right people will love you just the way you are. I love this one too. It kind of speaks to being yourself and not conforming to someone that you're not. When you're yourself, you will attract people who like you, who are interested in the person that you are and not the person who you are pretending to be. Because when you pretend to be someone, you attract people who are attracted to that fake person, that facade. You got to keep pretending for them to stay around. And so don't be afraid, because you will be surrounded by the right people if you are just yourself and you show your scars, and people will love you and help you heal generally, out there. So there's only one way to find out: going somewhere to do something. So I really love this. I think this speaks to taking a risk and just doing something and not knowing where you're going to end up. I know for me, when I went to college, it was a big risk for me because I had never been to Virginia in my life. And so it was a big risk for me to go there at first, to leave my hometown of New York City, where I was born and raised. I was like reluctant to go. And that's why we see that anxiety there on Little Buddha's face. Um, yep. So let's see. Think before you speak. I love this. I love this one. Thinking before you speak is very important. It's very important. It says like my plane, and then think before you speak. Little Buddha is thinking about how Little Panda broke his plane, but Little Panda looks sad, right? He's not happy that he broke his plane. And so Little Buddha, what he says in his reaction to his plane being broken, is important in this moment. Time's a party. So I love this. Oh my god, look at his Panther shirt. He's got his little shirt open. This reminds me of Elvis, like the way the Panda's dressed with the hearts sunglasses, and then Little Buddha has the star sunglasses and little shirt open in the front. This gives me a real 70s vibe, but I love this freaking card. And this is the celebratory card of the deck. We got the disco ball going, and it's so cute. Treat yourself. Treat yourself. I'm thinking about treating myself to a new tarot deck. I really need to chill because I have like so many decks, but I love tarot decks, so I'm probably gonna go ahead and treat myself with a deck. Trust the process. Another one that's kind of self-explanatory, but trusting the process is a very important. It's very important. It's something that we always have to do because we're starting a process. We don't know how it's going to turn out, and things might not seem to make sense along the way, but we kind of just gotta have trust and stick to it. Stick through the hard times. Trust your intuition; it will guide you through. So we have Little Buddha here in a labyrinth, and he's like trusting his intuition. You see the glow there in the chest area, and yeah, he's being guided through by his intuition. Trust yourself. And this one, these two cards are different. They're similar, but they're different. So with trusting your intuition, you're trusting your gut. Um, the thing that you got a feeling, but you're not sure. With trusting yourself, you're trusting what you know your strengths are and burying doubt. This question mark is doubt. You're not questioning yourself. You're burying this doubt because you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, and all you got to do is trust yourself. And Panda's sweating. He's like, this is hard. It is hard to do, but Little Buddha's just like dumping that dirt on there. Like, we not we gonna bury this little question mark. Try something new. It's important to try new things. With this petting zoo theme, I thought about approaching people who are not necessarily the nicest people, or they might be weary, but just kind of changing your approach and still treating them well. So that was my thought behind this card. And again, there's always a lot more to read into, besides what meets the eye here with the title. Unlimited potential. This is just letting us know that the possibilities are endless. We have a whole bunch of infinity signs here, and Little Buddha is like thinking of ideas. And I like night scenes. I just like night scenes because I kind of thrive in the nighttime. I'm one of those night owls, so had a night scene for that. View things from a different perspective. So with this one, it's kind of self-explanatory. This card is asking you to look from a different vantage point, view things from a perspective that you have not seen, or just a new perspective in general. Want it, put in the work and manifest it. So this card is this card speaks to when you want something, but you haven't really done what you needed to do to get it. Like, we all want stuff, and it would be great if the things we want would just fall on our laps, right? But that's not reality. And so when you want something, you have to put in the work in order to manifest it, because it's not going to just fall on your lap with no effort. Water it like a delicate flower. So this is about nurturing our goals, nurturing ourselves, nurturing our environment, nurturing our family, all that good stuff, where you see Little Buddha here watering this plant, and the plant is growing. Weather the rain. So weathering the rain, you see little panda here playing in the puddles. Weathering the rain is about when when things are not going our way, and we kind of need to stick through it anyway. And these are the things that are a little bit more bearable, right? It's rain. It's helping the environment. It's what works for better for the collective, but it's not necessarily ideal for us, but we can deal with it. Weather the storm is a little bit more severe, right? That's when um, this is just a more severe version of this card, because with rain you have frozen rain that makes the snow, um, and of course it's more difficult to weather rain than it is to weather snow than it is to weather rain. So got that. Worthy, and we have love showers. So this one is kind of similar to one of the cards we looked at earlier. Let me see if it's easily accessible. But it's similar, but it's different, because with Worthy, this one is more so about self-worth than emotional intelligence. Well, self-worth is a part of emotional intelligence, but it's more geared toward confidence and knowing that you are worthy and showering yourself with that love. Um, yep. And then, okay, here we have some of the, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. So these are the 10 Buddha quote cards that I told you guys I added at the end, after I finished the deck. And that was done through the elevation process. I always go through a process where I elevate my decks. And the first thing that I added to this deck was the extra cards, and these are all Buddha quotes. So we have complain less, appreciate more, and with this one we have um, little Buddha. It's raining. Little Buddha has a broken umbrella, but he's like admiring this flower who's getting nurtured by the rain, and so he's not complaining about himself getting rained on. He's appreciating how the rain is nurturing the flower. Judge less, accept more. So we have some little people here of different cultures, and they're celebrating each other. They're celebrating love. They're celebrating diversity, and they accept one another. They're not judging each other. And then we also have some more little people silhouettes in the background. Frown less, smile more. So we have little Buddha here at school. This is the I call it the Namaste Academy. But here, little Buddha's going to school for the first day, and he's like, his little friend is here, like, hey buddy, come on, let's go. And then he's like reluctant. He's like, mommy, I don't know. I want you to come, or mommy, I'm scared because it's my first day at school. And so I thought this was a cute way to depict frown less, smile more, because of all the opportunities that you have when you go to school. You have the opportunity to learn, you have the opportunity to make friends and build connections. And you get a lot of children get a lot of influence from school. That's been proven in many studies. And so there's a lot of opportunity for growth when you kind of transition from being at home into going to school. Oh, baby's a little fussy. He's all right, guys. Dad's here. All right. Each morning we are born again, Buddha. So this one's all about just having a fresh start in the morning. Let's say the day before wasn't a good day. Well, you have the opportunity to make today a better day. So we're not bringing in any of the yucky stuff from the day before. We're starting fresh. And if you created a good day, if you had a good day yesterday, you can have another good day today, or you can have a not so good day today. But you're starting fresh, you're reborn, and you have the opportunity to control your path moving forward. What you feel, you attract, Buddha. So you want to be mindful of what you're feeling, how you're processing things, the energy that you're putting out, because then you will attract that back to you, right? The law of attraction. And so it's just important to be mindful of that. Got little birds, so cute. Fear less, love more. I like this card because I think cemeteries have like a bit of a negative connotation, like they're kind of creepy just because of all the energy, or they're depicted in horror movies. But you just have people who have transitioned, and there's nothing to fear, right? And there is also a lot of love that is spilled into cemeteries, because of all the loved ones that are lost and people that go there to share their love with their loved ones. And we have little Buddha doing that, sharing some love with his ancestors here. What we think, we become. um, Buddha. It's another one of those quotes. And so it's kind of similar to what you feel, you attract. That's emotional. What you think, you become. This is mental. And being mindful of your thoughts and um, thought processes. What we do today is what matters most. So, kind of like being born again, you could have been on a different path yesterday. It's not too late to start over, to start a new path, to start a new journey, to point yourself in a different direction. It's never too late to do that. I love this card so much. Oh my gosh. So think less, feel more. We have little Buddha here. He's like hugging this homeless man. The homeless man has a little a little purse, or a bag, but the bag is see-through, so you can see what he has, and he doesn't have much. And I love the message behind this card. Think less and feel more. And I was thinking about how to depict this card, but I'm very happy with this depiction. And I've worked in the homeless services for basically my entire career up until I got this new job, and so I feel pretty passionate about homelessness and being kind to homeless people. Watch less, do more. Uh, this one is so cute. Like, just look at this little guy. He's like bent over. This reference is about the magnifying glass, like amplifying the sun rays to the ants. And you see this little guy over here with the smoke coming from the ants. Watch less, do more. It was kind of difficult for me to conceptualize a good way to depict this card, but ultimately, I think this one is perfect. Um, Little Buddha is a student at the Namaste Academy. He's got some younger students here who are doing something that he doesn't agree with. And so instead of watching, he's trying to stop him. And he's like, "What are you doing? Hey, you gotta stop that." And this one, he's just looking like, okay. And this guy back there, he's like, he's just doing it. He's like, so hopefully Little Buddha can convince this guy to stop doing it. And then they can both convince that guy. And then, yeah. All right. And so that's it for the Little Buddha Oracle. That's all the cards. Yeah, I'm so glad I added those extra cards in. And I think it really elevates the deck to another level. There are 71 cards in the deck, and including that one card that I told you guys almost didn't make the deck. I just threw it in there anyway. And also the title. Well, technically, it's 72 cards in the deck if you count the title card, but I didn't count the title card. Um, so yeah, that's it. That's the little oracle. Um, Want to make sure I didn't forget anything. I think I got everything. Talked about the elevation process, the special things that I added on here. Oh, another thing that I did elevate, of course, was the box. This is the original box for the Little Buddha Oracle. It was just a tough box. But this box is a lot more sturdy than this one. Of course, it's going to protect your deck better and it's going to last longer. So that's a good thing. The card stock is better also for the official copy. And then it's matte, while this one has a bit of a gloss to it, which you can see my light because of that gloss. And I'm very happy with the way it turned out. And so thank you guys so much. If you got through this video, it's a bit of a long one. We're almost going on an hour here. There were a lot of cards in this deck, and so I tried to get through them as fast as I could. But thank you guys again so much for all of your kindness and support. I really appreciate you, and I just love to do this. I love to make tarot and oracle decks. I love to interact with you guys, and um, it's fun. It's just it's just lots of fun for me. I have a whole bunch of more projects coming out this year. This year is going to be a very big year for me with releasing some of the projects that I've been working on from last year, and then also some new ones that I had started this year, which I'm so freaking excited about. Um, but yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.